Hi guys, welcome from my office, from Amsterdam. Welcome to FUT Champions Show. Your weekly update about the best performing players, the best matches, and of course, the best goals scored in FUT Champions. And of course, we're talking about FIFA19 Ultimate Team. Last week, in the very first episode, we've seen many players hit that 30-0, but how many of them are still unbeaten after this second week of October 2018? Starting off this week's episode on PlayStation 4, of course. And a crazy thing about the PlayStation 4 this weekend is that 29 wins wasn't necessarily enough to be in the week's top 100 leaderboard. Crazy, because last week 29 was enough, but now there was a possibility of hitting that 29 wins and not being in the top 100 leaderboard. Someone who did was Principe, our friend from Italy. He scored 30 wins and he's our week's number one. Principe hitting 30 wins, but he's not too happy about this game yet. So he's won all of his games this weekend, but he doesn't think FIFA 19 is the game he's looking for just quite yet. He's not in the top 3 of the monthly leaderboard because only 3 players that hit the 30-0 last weekend did it again this week. The first to do it was Age Rosenmeier from Denmark, of course. And we asked Age, what team do you play? How did you get these 60 wins in these 2 weeks? And this is the squad he goes with. Might be interesting to see. Henry, Prime Henry, 93 rated, is up front. So no Prime Ronaldo, it's Prime Henry up front. The second player to remain unbeaten after this weekend was Eisvogel from Germany. We saw him in last week's episode as well. He was the number 1 on PS4 last week, and he just did it again. 30-0 again. He had some tough matches. We'll see him in this best matches part of this episode as well. He did it just like Nicolas. Only 3 players unbeaten on PS4 after 2 weekends in October. Age, Eisvogel, and Nicolas. Nicolas, we know him from Amsterdam, of course, FIFA 18 event. He won it last year, and he is still unbeaten as well. Someone who remained unbeaten this weekend was Dr. Arano, another German player. In the first week, he didn't hit that 30, now he did. And the crazy thing about Arano is he played on both consoles, 30-0 on PS4, 29 wins on Xbox. Dr. Arano, you're a crazy doctor, man. So, also on Xbox, we're gonna see Dr. Arano in the top 100, just like former world champion Bruce Granak. He is showing he has still got it. Obviously always playing on stream. Our French friend Bruce, congratulations man, you did very well. 28 wins, he is on spot 91, and there are so many great players in this week's top 100. Just like, for example, Ajax Joey. He couldn't perform as well as he always wants to in last week's FUT Champions Weekend League, but now he has. He has hit his first 30-0, just like Kid Namito. Both top players, we've seen them performing very well last year with FIFA 18, and they've now both hit these 30 wins this weekend. They were the first 2 on Xbox to do it, but they're not in the top of the leaderboard monthly because, of course, there is F2 Tags. He was one of the first to hit 30-0 again this week, just like last week, so he is on 60 wins on Xbox, just like Tom Stokes. Tom Stokes? Yes. Blatant Corn 63, or what's his name? It's a crazy Xbox name. Tom Stokes, why do you use it, man? I know Tom Stokes very well, actually. I think it was back in the days, 2011, 2012, playing FIFA tournaments in the UK. Tom Stokes was always there. He was one of the top players. So sorry for not knowing your name last week.
His name is Blatant Corn 63. Is that like a random standard Xbox name? Does anyone know? Help us out. Let us know in the comments who this guy is.
Yeah. There he is, Blatant Corn 63, Tom Stokes. Very well done. That's the top of the leaderboard monthly on Xbox. Let's move on to the best matches of this weekend. As always, we've selected 3 matches for you guys, all played between the best of the best, pro versus pro. And the commentary is done by Richard Buckley and Brandon Smith. We're very happy. Thank you guys for doing it for us. Here's the best matches.
Well, it was another great weekend of FUT Champions. You know, lots of goals scored and lots of big games played.
Yeah, plenty of game and goals in action this weekend, and we've got one here between Aggie and Bobby. Brandon, Aggie takes the lead 1-0.
He does as well, but it was a quick reply from Kondogbia from distance on the finesse to make that one all square in 14 minutes played.
Yeah, Messi's in here though, and little smart pass across the box. Messi to Ronaldo for Aggie, and it looks like he's going to put his lead to 3, Brandon.
Did as well. Eusebio, the new icon for this year, and he went on the attack again with Eusebio all the way across the goal to Ronaldo to make that one 4-1.
Do we have a comeback on the cards? Mbappe, lovely times finesse into that top corner.
Aggie had other ideas. Ronaldo to Eusebio, the hero it seems in this game.
Goals galore. If you ask for goals, you're getting them definitely. Mbappe from range 5-3. It looks like that's how it finished.
Did indeed. Next game here, a German affair. Dito versus Ice Vogel. What a game between the two. And guess what, Richard? It went all the way down to the wire in a penalty shootout.
Yeah, penalties it was, and it's Dito stepping up first in that Man City kit, 1-0.
That was followed up by an equaliser by the man that has just joined Schalke.
Yeah, back-to-back penalties here. No one making a mistake from the spot.
Oh, and then there was one miss there, and another one missed again by Dito, and another one missed by Ronaldo, and again!
Everyone's forgot how to take a penalty. Hullet steps up, and he slots it home, and then Dito misses.
And that's Ice Vogel with a winner. Into our last game, though, in focus. Stefano Pinner from PSV up against Dr. Ohano.
Stefano Pinner, last year's grand finalist, Brandon.
1-0 down. Was it going to be 2? Yes, it was. 2 finesses. 2-0 down. Pinner did try and get back in the game, played it across, then Mbappe with a header.
Looks like the doctor is on form this week. Who's stepping into a Ohano surgery?
And he did score again. Off the bar.
Michael
On
Ballack.
the rebound, and somehow it was like header tennis in there, and that one did finish. Those are the games, they're the ones in action.
Whew. What a games there. What a crazy win by Dr. Rano. He's really the MVP of today's episode. Great win against Stefano Pina. Obviously hitting 29 wins as well. Very good game. Now, let's move on to best goals, all sent in by you guys. If you're watching this, please go to our Instagram. Vote for your favorite goal, and the winner of this competition receives 12,000 FIFA points. Here we go. Top 10 best goals. Commentary from Richard Buckley and Brandon Smith.
Little bit of space in the box. Anyone in there lurking around for Gabriel Jesus? Oh, what a goal!
Yeah, great finish there. Quadrado down his right hand side. Lovely oil tornado in, and it's Mandzukic with the finish.
Another goal here now. Ronaldo driving forward, lots of space. Rainbow flick, volley, surely not. Oh, yes!
Some of these goals, Fabinho, love a little dink ball over the top. What's Verdi got in his locker? He's got a bicycle kick in his locker.
Another great goal, Richard. Here's another one, though. Bale into Suarez. Oh, a scorpion kick of the finest.
The Scorpion returns. Here we've got Bobby Firmino. Lovely little bit of close control. Into a rainbow flick. Bicycle kick, volley.
These goals have not stopped delivering today. Here's another one. El Tornado. Ronaldo on the volley. What a goal.
That is special from the big man, CR7. You just seen that free kick. That's not the goal. Cleared off the line. Wilfred Zaha, the Ivory Coast International. That's a lovely little bikini spin into an advanced space shot. One of the new skill rules this year. Is that a scoop turn? How many more can he do? This man is a joke. Little chip. Do you want salt and vinegar with that?
Unbelievable goal, which is free kick from distance with Neymar! Oh, what a goal!
Have a day off, Neymar. What a finish from the big man. We've got Timmy Payet standing over it. He's got a Harry Potter wand of a right foot.
And that is goals of the week. Payet finishing off with a gorgeous free kick. It's been Brandon and Richard, your FIFA esports commentators.
Now, one of my favorite parts of the FUT Champions Show, FC Stats. Starting off with a tweet from my good friend Chewboy. He's talking about CJO, player from South Africa representing Orlando Pirates. He's the first African player to be FUT Champions verified after this weekend. Congratulations to you, CJO. Next statistic is about live streaming, because of course there's many pro players and many YouTubers and Twitch streamers you can watch during FUT Champions Weekend Leagues. Castro, probably the most famous streamer around, he has reached the top 100 on Xbox for the very first time. Congratulations, man, well done. But fun fact is that some pro players like Cody, their finisher from Germany, representing FC Basel, he hit 3,000 live viewers on his stream last weekend. Gorilla, 5,000 live viewers on his stream. We ourselves hit 7.5k live viewers on YouTube as well in our Dutch live stream. Some crazy stats. I feel like FIFA19 is hot. It's hot. Everybody's so hyped, and I think records are being broken in every single country. Now, this man, Ice Vogel, we've talked about him for hours, but he's performing like a beast. Last week, 30-0. This week, 30-0. And in this week's FUT Champions Weekend League, He scored 134 goals and only conceded 16. 16. Some people concede 16 goals in 3 matches, like me sometimes. Icevogel, you're crazy. Well done. Right, if you have any statistics about yourself, about scoring many goals or conceding maybe even less than Icevogel, just let us know, and maybe you're in next FC Stats. Then, a funny statistic about myself. I'm not sure if I'm proud of this, but last week, of course, we recorded the very first FUT Champions Show, and everything was new, also for me, and I think I said the word "very" for like very many times.
Welcome to the very first FUT Champions Show. There's the very popular, the very best players in the very first weekend league of the very first FIFA19 weekend league. Starting off, this very first 3 very big players did it in a very well. He's a very good player. And the very first game, very, I'm very curious. This was your very first FUT Champions Show. Adios.
Right, let's move on to our last part of this FUT Champions Show. Freaking close to smashing your controller. Last week, the name of this part was Freaking Close to Suicide. Got some comments about that, rethought about it, and I think this is a better title of this part of the show. So, Freaking Close to smashing your controller. We all know these moments. Sometimes we do smash our controller. Let's just watch and laugh. Well, that's that for this episode. Team of the week. What's it gonna be? Who's gonna feature Team of the week? Maybe Memphis Depay played amazing against Germany. Even pulled off a very nice fake Rabona. Mats Hummels, where did you go, man? Right, guys, just go subscribe. Leave a like if you like this video. Don't forget to vote on our Instagram, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. This was FUT Champions Show.